and welcome back everybody. Today I just kind of wanted to do a really quick journey north and south to see exactly what was included when I moved my little bubble over. So, I mean, so far we've got quite a bit of space. I'm down to here by now. I can still see this part of the map, but it might just be because it's not updated yet. So I'm really curious to see just how far my little pocket of Ara Fury extends to in this new world, so that I'll be able to see is the translocator in the desert still something that I have access to? Like, because if it is, I will have to put in a new one, because the one that's there probably will go into a solid rock wall like the other one sent me to, because it won't have a corresponding translocator in the old spot. But so I'm really interested. I mean, so far we're getting pretty far down south here, away from my base, and still have road. The world hasn't reverted to the new world yet. So I'm gonna keep going on this path and see if the translocator is still over here. Well, look at that. We've got ourselves a translocator here. The one in the desert, and I am gonna go through it just to see if by some happy chance it does put me in the same spot that it was, because that could be neat. But I mean, I don't have a whole lot of high hopes as far as it sending me to the right direction. So I will be back and let you know if it goes to the right place or if I'll have to reset and replace this translocator. We'll see how it goes. So as anticipated, there is no translocator here to correspond with that one in the desert. So I am going to have to do a little bit of world magic and get this all sorted out. And I will be back and we will see where our newly replaced translocator sends us. Okay, here's our newly assembled translocator. I am going to actually run home really quick to grab some food, and then let's see where this goes, shall we? Here we go, into the unknown. So a basalt biome by the looks of it. And let's grab what's in these chests here. Repair parts, cool. Blasting powder, always welcome. And I'll come up and get the rest of this stuff later, but let's take a look at the map here. And we're in a pretty decent sized basalt type biome by the looks of it. I'm probably not going to spend a ton of time searching in this area. I did want to come over here, so here's the translocator. I wanted to come over here and check out these kind of light greenish colored, I thought, stone, because I'm trying to find some peridotite to find olivine, which is an ingredient I will need for my upcoming steel making. But yeah, this isn't peridotite. This is weird, funky, frosty grass. So I made the trek up this mountain in the dark for nothing. I mean, once the sun comes up, this will probably be a really nice view, actually. But yeah, because peridotite is the only place where olivine will spawn, and you need powdered olivine in making the tier 2 refractory furnace bricks. And I wanted to, I don't know, just skip over tier 1 and go straight for the tier 2 so that I didn't have to fuss with making the furnaces 3 different times. So I'm probably not going to spend a whole lot of time searching in this area, doing much over here today, just because I do have other things that I want to get done in this episode. So I am going to go on ahead and head back to the base and check out the northernmost border, I guess, of my little pasted in area to see how far it extends, since I didn't really have much south that I had actually explored. Oh dear, this is a bad life choice. Since I didn't have much that I had explored, there wasn't a whole lot to tell as far as what was different and what was new. So going south wasn't a very good indicator. But north, there is the giant road that goes all the way north to spawn. So it'll be a good tell as to where my little boundary of my area ends. Look at this. There's copper bits all the way down there. I think that's the quote unquote surface copper that those little bits were indicating. That's interesting. Oh, hi, Drifter. All right, so I'm going to head back to base and I will meet you guys in a bit. On my way back up to my base, I ended up deciding that instead of going to the northern border, I kind of wanted to come over here to see like if Hack and Slay's base is still here, and I've never actually been to Adrastos and Prim's base. But it'll be interesting. Actually, you know what? I can already tell that that base isn't here. Like, this is where Hack and Slay's base is. You can kind of see just a tiny bit of their base here because the map hasn't updated there because I had loaded that in the other world. So let's see just how far this little trail here goes before it comes to an end. And you know what? It actually looks like it just stops in the middle of the mountain because I'm pretty sure there was a trail that went all the way here through this mountain to Hack and Slay's base. So that's interesting. No Hack and Slay's base. But that's kind of a good indicator of how big this border is, this boundary is that I created when I spawned in this world. It's actually, I mean, quite large because I'm down here right now and my base is all the way up here. So if I take like, it's probably a circular type pattern. It encompasses a pretty large area. I'd be interested to see if this translocator here is still active, so that actually might be my next stop. But yeah, see, look, you can see right here, there's supposed to be a bridge going here over to Adrastos base, and it's started to disappear already as the map has updated. So that's interesting. I don't have that base, but I definitely will have Raylus's base. Probably Kendi's base will probably still be in my world as well. But other than that, there was another base out here also that doesn't look like it's there either. All right, so I'm gonna head over to this translocator and see if it's still active. An interesting note, land claims are still in effect, so like I can't actually open any of the chests or anything like that, and any of the gates, so that's good, because I mean I wasn't planning on raiding people's bases anyway. I mean that's primarily the main reason I got rid of the rest of the world. I mean, to minimize the world spawn for one, yes, but also to like get rid of the temptation to swipe people's things, you know, because that would make it too easy. And I created this world because I wanted to experience all that was here. So I didn't want things like that to get in my way of progressing on my own. So it's interesting to note that the land claims are still in effect. Yeah, up here, I'm pretty sure this is Kendi's base up here. So Kendi's base is still a part of my world. I don't know about you, but to me that looks like a pretty good indicator that this part of the world wasn't brought over. So let's see, where am I? We really need the recenter thing. Okay, so I actually had tried to record this at one point, and I hadn't actually pushed the record button. So I already went through and deleted the translocator that was here because it was like here, and with me ending the world ending here, it obviously wouldn't have reached. So I went on ahead and deleted that waypoint, and then up here, this looks like the end of the road north. So I don't know if I will really ever be making it back up to spawn for any reason. It does look like, so this bit here looks like newly spawned map, and so it looks like Funky Chicken's base is in it, and a little bit of Aladark's base, and I'm not quite sure whose base this is. I'm sorry, I didn't ever visit, but this teeny smidge right here is included in this version of Ara Fury. So yeah, I mean, the world is definitely a smaller place now, and it's kind of cool to know the extent of these borders here. And actually, I never even knew this road here existed, but I'm not sure that it matters anymore because it won't really go anywhere now. So I am going to head home and get started on gathering the resources that I'm going to need for the refractory furnaces. I still don't have any olivine, so I am going to have to spend a little bit of time world exploring to see if I can find some olivine. And there is a map of Ara Fury that has all of the translocators that have been discovered by people listed, and I'm pretty sure there are a couple more translocators in my area that other people have found that I didn't know about. So I'm going to take a peek at that map and kind of see if there are any other translocators that I should go and reset, essentially, to see what new parts of the world they open up. Well, by the looks of the Ara Fury map, there was a translocator, actually a pair of translocators kind of down in this area, but based on where this cut off, it doesn't look like I will have access to those translocators. So all in all, I have the two translocators basically that I only ever used anyway. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting thing discovering this world by myself now. Well, I am on my way to a peridotite biome that I had been to before to get myself some olivine since it only spawns in peridotite. And so here's the biome I'm headed for right here. You can tell that it's kind of the greenish color, I suppose, of peridotite. And let's see, my base is over here, so I kind of went this direction based on the maps reloading. I went here, and I'm just about to this biome here to find some peridotite, and in that journey I've gotten 2 temporal gears from the drifters that I encountered on the way, so that's pretty cool. I did learn another thing that, I don't know, most people probably already know by now, but you don't actually have to open up your map to put a waypoint on. You can put waypoints right here on your mini map. You just right click where you want them to go and you can place them right there on the mini map. I don't know if that really saves any time or anything, but for me, because it doesn't obscure the screen as much as having the full map up does, and so you can I don't know, keep a weather eye open if you need to. So like here, there's some quartz here, and I can just go in, put it in there, and now I have my new waypoint. So yeah, it's not earth-shattering, but hey, it's a pretty neat trick. So let's see, we're just about this biome. We just gotta get through these granite rolling hills here. And so I will see you in just a little bit when I have some olivine to show for it. Well, here we are in the peridotite biome. So I'm going to go on ahead and show the wireframe borders so that when I prospect, I know which chunk I'm in. And so I'm going to go on ahead, and I did download a new mod that I'm pretty excited about called VSProspectorInfo. I'm not entirely sure on the exact name. That's probably pretty close. I'll be sure to post it in the comment or the description of this video. But it basically, so here, let me take one more sample here. Come on. Need one more sample. That must have been too close. Dang it. I hate when that happens. Okay, so I get one more sample here. And you can see on the map here that a little square will show up, and it tells you the different densities of the different ores in that area. And it's I took a couple of samples here and there and there. It's a very convenient way to automatically record the information for prospecting instead of going in and logging it all by hand. It just automatically puts it there on your map, and there are codes to toggle that overlay. So if you don't want to see them all the time, you can, there are commands for those to go away. But yeah, it's just, I think it's gonna kind of make everything go smoother. So wow, lots of hematite. Okay. But no olivine. I think olivine is something that'll show up on the prospecting, right? I haven't ever had to find it before. I've always just been places where it is. And so having to go and look for it is a new experience for me. This is gonna be a bad idea. It's entertaining and nothing else. All right, so I'm gonna do a little more prospecting, poking around, and I'll be back if I find some olivine. Well, I found some olivine, and on the edge of a giant cliff is typically the way I've ever found it in the past, or randomly in caves. And just so you know, it does not actually show up on a density map. It will show up on like the node search. So if you went into a cave and did a node search, it would show you that it found it in large amounts. But this cinnabar, emerald, and native copper reading was, I mean, that piece was the triangulation that I did just now right next to it, and it didn't pick it up. So without much ado, I am going to enjoy some explosions for a moment and gather up some of this olivine so that I will be able to start my journey to steel. So what I ended up doing to be able to find this, and this is clearly more olivine than the little seam that I found in the mountain, is basically I found a cave entrance on the surface and punched and then used my pro pick on node search, and it said that there was a trace amount of olivine. So I went through the process of triangulating it, and well, this is where it brought me to. I have this nice hoard of olivine, which is good because you need at least 8 stacks of olivine for making the refractory bricks in just the tier 2. And if you want to upgrade your 2s to 3s, you're going to need another 8 stacks. So a lot of olivine is going to go into the making of this refractory furnace. So I'm going to spend some time blowing things up, you know, getting some therapy in, and I will be back. Now that I have an inventory and a chest on my back full of olivine, it's time to start heading home. Check out the size of this cavern that I have exploded, because all of this was solid full of olivine, and I ended up breaking through into a cave over here and finding the surface, and I've killed a couple of wolves and a couple of drifters. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And so let's get this guy. Oh, he's got a friend. All right, I'm gonna go on ahead and dispatch these guys, and I will see you guys in a bit. I can definitely say that trip was a success. We need 460 per tier of the furnace, or the refractory brick furnace. I don't know. I keep getting mixed up. We need 460 of each for each tier for this olivine, and we certainly have enough to do the 2 tiers that I plan on doing. So I am really pleased with this acquisition. I definitely need to go back to the bauxite biome and mine some more of this up. So I think I'm going to probably go on ahead and do that now. Just get some quarrying done so I can get some full bauxite blocks, just because it's such a beautiful color and I can't wait to use it in my build palette. So I'm going to head back to the bauxite biome and get some quarrying done. There we go. I spent some time quarrying out some bauxite, so I got some stones and some rocks and some gravel because we were in the gravel biome. But yeah, now I have enough of the bauxite, enough of the olivine. Let's see, what else do I need? Quartz, there's enough quartz and enough fire clay. So I am going to take all of these bricks. So we need two of these, one of these. Oh, I still need to make the crusher. Never mind. We will be doing that next. So let's see, pulverizer, pounder, toggle, and frame. So 3 logs, a chisel, and a hammer. So hammer and chisel. And when I was doing the, I think I need 2 of these actually. So when I was quarrying out, I made these 2 mining bags, and they have 10 slots as compared to the 6 slots of the leather bags, but they can only hold stones, ores, and minerals and metals. But that's actually really efficient and effective when you are quarrying. So I made a pair of those so that I would have a little bit more inventory space, plus my backpack, so to speak, of the chest. Actually, speaking of which, that's still on my back, so let me grab that because there is more rocks in here. There we go. I was wondering why my totals weren't looking quite as impressive as I thought they should. It's because it was all in here. I must have a full inventory. Okay, there we go. And there. Do I have none of those? And there we go. All right. Yeah, so actually I don't need to hold this anymore. Okay, we have the 2 pounders. And now let's see what else. Pulverizer, toggle. A plate. Dang it, I hate making plates. And for whatever reason, my windmills here are just, they like never are going when I need them to. See that? Slacking on the job. You know, after building this huge workshop so that I could have windmill powered helve hammers, I'm considering redoing a lot of it so that I can make them water wheel powered, because at least then they'd be going all the time instead of just hanging out and not doing anything half of the time or more. So I'm going to get the rest of these pieces for the pulverizer made up, and I'm pretty sure, so I'm just going to need the 2 pounders, a toggle, frame, and then I will need caps, pulverizer caps. There we go. The pounder caps. And I'm going to go on ahead and make iron ones because those are the best ones for now that I can make. And then I'm going to make the steel ones later so that once we find ilmenite and want to upgrade to tier 3, we'll be able to do that. So I'm going to go on ahead and get this, everything I'm going to need for the pulverizer set up, and I will be back. Here's my pulverizer all set up in here, and I've decided, since it takes a ridiculous amount of the resources that need to be pulverized, I am going to automate it. And to do that, I have these 2 chute sections that I'm going to make into an elbow chute and put that here. Oop, nope, that was wrong. There we go, and put it there just like that. I had a struggle, it wasn't placing correctly. But anyway, so we have the elbow chute with the chest on top. And then over here, I'm going to put a hopper to catch all of the pulverized material, and then go underneath and put a chest here. so that it'll catch what I need. So let's go grab some bauxite. I guess we'll do bauxite first. So I'm supposed to do 8 stacks of that. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 stacks of bauxite. And then we're gonna take this over to our pulverizer setup and feed it into the chest, and it will automatically pulverize. And right now the wind is doing great, considering it usually is not so great. So I am going to take advantage of that and get some things pulverized. So let's put them in here. And let's see. Yeah, we got some dust happening here, so it's pulverizing my bauxite stones. There we go. There's the first 2 being pulverized. So this is going to run for quite a while probably, and I have more room in here, so I'm probably going to put my 8 stacks of olivine in there as well, so that it can do two processes before I have to check on it again. So I'm going to go on ahead and let that do its thing, and I'll be back. My original intention for this episode was to get to steel, but it turns out I'm gonna not have enough time, since this is still making its way through the bauxite and olivine, and I have yet to do the quartz. So, and as you can see, the wind is struggling, and I'm not gonna be able to get what I need. Why are they just sitting there? One of them just despawned, so I guess I'll pick them up. Anyway, if I want this episode to be out tomorrow morning, I am not going to have enough time to wait around for the wind to pick up and all of those materials to crush, and I'm doing pretty good on time anyway, so I'm going to go on ahead and end this episode here, and we will get to steel making in the next episode. So if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to leave a like, and if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys next time.